practice space efficiency. Why? Not practice space efficiency, your practice space and efficiency with it. This morning, I was talking to a new client and we were talking about, actually, no, it was one of my people who's about to graduate from the 12-week coaching program. And we were talking about the physical space in the office and the things that we want to think of. And I was telling her how for so many years, I used to have this huge desk. At one point, I went to like a used office furniture place and I got all of my office furniture for my chiropractic center. And it was like old desks from the bank, you know, like you guys, these were like monster desks, right? And the space that I was in, it was set up so that if I had a front desk person or an assistant, the desk really needed to be in a specific part of the office to not interrupt my flow, because otherwise I'd hear all of the conversations. They would be right there on the other side of the wall, and it was too much. It would drive me crazy, and it would distract me from doing what I really wanted to be doing, which was giving great care. So if I had somebody physically in the office with me, the desk had to be in a certain place. But as soon as that person left, if I didn't have somebody in the office with me, and let's say I went through a phase of not having a front desk person for like 6 months, then I would move the office to the other side of the space. You guys, this desk was a monster. It must have been, I don't know, maybe 300 pounds. And I'm a CrossFitter. So I would have all of my, I swear to God, this is true. I would have all of my CrossFit buddies come in as the day that the person quit or left or whatever it was. And we would schlep the desk from one end to the other, And it became a joke. And the joke was, Jody's staff must have quit again, or Jody must have hired a new person because she's got to move the desk again. Because you have to have efficiency in your office as far as the space is concerned. So for me, the efficiency was, if I didn't have anybody at the desk needed to be right there so that I had a landing place for all of the things. Little did I know about the patient center concept, and we're going to go into that in a minute. So hold on one sec, you guys. Okay, I've got people texting me and I'm just telling them that I'm live in the Facebook group. Okay, so if you have questions while I'm sharing, go ahead and drop them in the Facebook group. If you're one of my students, you're welcome to meet me in the Zoom. Let's talk about patient centers. So in my office today, I don't even have a front desk because God knows I do not need to have any more schlepping of 300-pound desks back and forth my space. But what I do have is I have patient centers kind of scattered around my office space. Patient centers are they're areas of the office that my practice members can get all of their needs met without my time and energy to be in the mix. Patient centers are, they're success-driven areas for my practice members to pay me, to reschedule, to book an appointment if they don't have one booked, as opposed to rescheduling, to leave me a note about a super bill that they need, to leave me a referral, to ask me to see their son who's coming in from out of town, and then we have another client or patient center to change diapers, to get new fresh onesies, to find wipes, to trying out new essential oil products. And then we have another patient center to get snacks, to get tea, to get water, to get seltzers. So I think the trickiest thing about the patient centers or the client centers is you have to find a way to communicate with your practice members how to use each center. And boy, oh boy, do we have tools for doing that. So I think my favorite part of this is that when somebody comes into my office, what I say to them, and I really mean this is just as much your place as it is mine. Here's where you can get this met, here's where you can do this thing, and here's where you can do that thing. And if you guys look back in this group, you'll see me doing tours of my office where all of this is, totally obvious what I'm talking about. So what I offer to you is that you take a bird's eye view on your practice. Come into your office as a visitor. See what you see what you don't see. If you were a practice member in your office, what's missing? What needs to be added? How can you schedule without a person helping you? How can you get tea without a person helping you? How can you pay for the service that you're about to get without a person helping you? Is that possible? If it's not possible, what kind of patient center do you need to create to make it possible? And how do you need to communicate with your practice members? How can you do that so that they know what to do when they walk in? Another patient center that I have is we have like hand sanitizer and face paper and a garbage can. It's like a little thing, you guys, but it's a big deal. So what does your practice need? I guess where you can start with this is, what are you doing in your office where you're like, this can't be the best use of my time, or you just dread doing that thing? And then what's a solution as far as a physical space is concerned? What's a solution that you can have ready to rock and roll for when your people walk in? That's how you make your practice space efficient. And at some point, you might need an extra set of hands to come in and restock the patient center, or organize the patient center, or clean the patient center, or all of them. And I call that person a Casper. It's somebody who comes in when I'm not at the office. I don't even know they were there. It's kind of like Tinkerbell coming in, waving her wand and making everything pretty. So what patient centers would be appropriate for your practice members? What's necessary? How can you create them efficiently and effectively? Don't go on a spending spree and thinking that you got to spend all kinds of money and moving walls, and none of that needs to happen. Use what you already have. Repurpose what you already have. Okay, Marie Kondo, is that her name? Where she, you take things and you literally hold something, and if I haven't, do I yield towards it, or does it just not do anything for me, then get rid of it, right? So what can you repurpose in your office to make a perfect patient center? By the way, if you guys aren't getting our texts, once a week I send out a text that gives you one idea to move your practice forward. And if you want to get on that text thread, just drop the word text below and we'll make sure that you get on it. Because this week's text was walk around your office. And in the book, The Joy-Filled Practice Plan, right there, we have an exercise in there called 3 boxes, where you take a box, you really take 3 of them, but you take 1 box and you fill it up. You do this every 3 months. You fill it up with things that you have not touched in the office in the past 3 months. You seal the box up, you label the box, and you put the box away. You put it in your basement or wherever you keep your storage. And then you put a reminder on your calendar in 90 days from now to do 3 boxes again. You go back, you open the boxes that you put away 3 months ago, and you either repurpose them, recycle them, or you get rid of them. Right. And those are the opportunities to recycle some of these things, to repurpose some of these things, to create the perfect patient center or client center or practice member center, whatever you want to call it. So that's how you increase practice space efficiency. You want to look around your office from a bird's eye view, and you want to say, how can things be more efficient in the office for me, for my practice members, for my family if they come to visit me at work, for anybody who is affected by your physical space? Let me know what you come up with. I love, love, love when you guys share photos of your practice efficiency spaces. Drop photos. Let me see what your office is looking like. Give us a tour right here in the comments here. Give us a tour and let us help you with it. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I will see you next Monday at 1 o'clock for another live and Make Today Count.